So earlier I did a video on um, how I think Fire Lord Sozin should have used the comet to burn down the entire Earth Kingdom and win the war outright. And so go watch that video too after you watch this one. But my reason for this is because it's very efficient and a very good thing to do. I mean, not a good thing to do, but if I were speaking from Sozin's perspective, it would probably be a good thing to do. So, if Sozin just uses if Fire Lord Sozin just used the comet to destroy the entire Earth Kingdom, then that means the Fire Nation wins the war outright, doesn't have to spend 100 years trying to conquer the Earth Kingdom. And, of course, there is still the threat of the Avatar, but hey, if you already won the war, if you already just burned down the entire Earth Kingdom, then the Avatar does not have a world to save. And what are the water tribes, the North Pole and the South Pole, what are they going to do? Like, what are the air nomads going to do? If the Fire Nation has already burned down the entire Earth Kingdom and taken over the land, then not much the other nations can do. Now, is there? And the Earthbenders are really some of the more dangerous benders, and one of the reasons the Earth Kingdom was so hard to conquer is because it was so large, and there were so many Earthbenders who were putting up a great resistance, and so many non-Earthbenders as well, Earth Kingdom citizens who were just fighting back. So if you just kill them all with a comet, then you don't really have to go through the trouble. So, I mean, remember, in the original series, in the original timeline, that's why Ozai wanted to burn down the entire Earth Kingdom, to just get rid of all the resistance, and so that the Fire Nation could just have full control over everything. And if Ozai had just succeeded in doing that, then Aang would have just been pointless because he wouldn't have had a world to save. As Zuko said, if Aang had waited until after the comet and after the Earth Kingdom burned down, then, you know, he wouldn't have needed to, since there wouldn't have been a world to save, it's over. So if Sozin had used the comet to destroy the Earth Kingdom, then Sozin could have won the war in his lifetime instead of passing it off to his son Azulon and grandson Ozai. Sozin could have just won the war. So that was just my tangent on why Sozin should have used the comet to destroy the entire Earth Kingdom. But what I wanted to add in this video is what would have happened in that scenario. And I think I might have touched on this in the last video, but let me go on. So, let's say Sozin just destroys the entire Earth Kingdom with Sozin's comet, and Sozin spends the rest of his life building up Fire Nation 2.0 in the Earth Kingdom. So building up Fire Nation colonies and a new version of the Fire Nation in the Earth Kingdom. And so Fire Nation destroys the entire Earth Kingdom, and all the Earthbenders go extinct. And what's left, the burned land of the Earth Kingdom, is now just part of the Fire Nation. And I think in this scenario, Sozin would have just figured, hey, if I burn down the entire Earth Kingdom, then the Avatar really has nothing to save, so he can't really try to stop me because, you know, it's all over anyway, so what's the point? And so I think in this scenario, it's possible that Sozin just forgets about the Avatar altogether and doesn't deal with it at all, doesn't deal with the Avatar at all. Or it's, of course, still possible that after destroying the entire Earth Kingdom, Sozin turns his attention to the air temples and the water tribes and tries to get them to submit, and he tries to get the air temples to hand over the Avatar, who by then Aang has already disappeared, though, so there's that problem. But yeah, I think that let's go with the first scenario, because I think the second scenario would be a little complicated. And I think in the second scenario, without the comet, the Firebenders could not have wiped out the air nomads, because the comet gave them the power to do a genocide on the air nomads. And without the comet, I don't think it would have really been possible. So, but in this scenario, obviously, Firebenders have already used the comet to wipe out the Earth Kingdom, so that opportunity has passed. So if we go with there's a few different scenarios we can go with, as I mentioned. So perhaps Fire Lord Sozin can, perhaps maybe in 100 years, maybe 100 years for the next comet, the Firebenders can use the comet to wipe out the water tribes, and then in the next comet, the Firebenders can use the comet to wipe out the air nomads, and then just kill everyone. But yeah, or they could have just, or honestly, I guess they could have really just used the comet to destroy the entire world. So use the comet to wipe out the Earth Kingdom and the Water Tribes and the Air Temples, and just destroy everyone and make everything a part of the Fire Nation, and no one but Firebenders left, or something like that. Now, that would have been really evil, but the idea that I'm mentioning it, the idea, then the thing that really happened in the series are evil enough.